Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in more in depth on a great viewer question, and that is a narcissist jealous? Are they deep inside jealous? And this is kind of a female asking kind of about her boyfriend, and they're engaged to be married. So I would say unequivocally for many narcissists, yes, they will become envious or jealous of others, but not that they will let onto or communicate to themselves or others. They feel very threatened if they do not have what others do not have. So in other words, they want to be acknowledged as very special, unique, and not in sort of an authentic way, which is a wonderful thing to be, which all of you are, special, unique, and miraculous in your own ways. The narcissist wants to be treated as such to the extent of a pathological need, and really to the point where they will overcompensate and be injurious, hurtful, or emotionally abusive, emotionally combative, sort of spiteful towards others, in sort of either outright or passively aggressively communicated ways. Meaning they will try to talk about you, smear campaign behind your back. Oh, they think this. Oh, they think that. In other words, talking about your accomplishments as if they are negligible, unimportant, not valuable, or will pale in comparison. What does this have to do with a narcissist being jealous or envious? Because they want to be treated as the special, the unique, the one and only, the one deserving, and as if then everybody else pales or is undeserving by comparison. And then so if others then begin to get the attention or have an accomplishment or something that they have can contribute, this will be downplayed, minimized, communicated to be irrelevant. This is very painful for a lot of people, to be taught and treated that they are irrelevant, unimportant, that they are not valuable, not worthy enough. This is basically where people feel not like, but emotional dirt. They will feel very badly about themselves, hurt feelings. So all these different things, a lot of people will then say, oh, well, don't cry over spilled milk, just put up and shut up. When you encounter this narcissist and they're acting out of this jealousy, this vengeance, this spite, they will cause them to project, to lie, and to deceive as a way for them to make their own security basically watertight and foolproof. Meaning that if they can act by deception, not give you the whole truth, not communicate to you, then they in their mind, this is how they get themselves ahead. This grandiosity and entitlement that they are operating on, it's like the fuel of their engine. This is just what runs them. They have an insatiable need for power and control. So insatiable meaning it does not get satiated. They do not ever feel that they have enough, are on the up and up enough. They don't really sort of hit that all is well. Everything has to be about the excitement. And it's a wonderful thing to live a happy, fulfilling, and exciting and blissful life. But when it causes them to cause others harm, irreparable harm, split up relationships, split up families, cause people to be fired, cause people to lose their face, cause them to suffer, this becomes then a problem. This is playing dirty. This is when the envy of the narcissist, it causes them to do this just as natural as walking or breathing for them. So people can't distinguish it as they are envious or jealous. They must just think, oh, this person has it all. They always get their way. People always just bow down to them. They just have the Midas touch. They, snap their fingers and everything happens. Everyone responds to their emails, their texts. Everyone laughs. Everyone loves their food. Everyone. So you've got this, situation then where the narcissist then has everybody where they want them, in the palm of their hand, wrapped around their finger. Now, this is not, specifically that's something I would ever want. I don't want people wrapped around my finger, in the palm of my hand, telling them to jump, do the splits, do this, do that. I do not have that tendency. I am more of your cooperative type. I am more of your empathetic type. I am more of your gentle type. I'm not really your want to be aggressive and sort of this competitive side. I want to do the best that I can to help other people and to grow professionally, emotionally, all these different things, personal growth included. So when you talk about this enviousness, the jealousy of the narcissist, it's very insidious, it's very caustic, and it's very sardonic, meaning it can express itself in many other sort of perverted or distorted ways, meaning their type of humor, their crude or crass ways with people, the situations that they put others in, making them very uncomfortable, not allowing people just to do things, taking away, stealing their thunder, is sort of, it's all about me. Even if it's something special, it could be somebody's wedding, but it's got to be about them. It's someone else's birthday, but it's about them. It's someone else's graduation, but you're going to hear about them. And not just, well, how are you doing? There's going to be something some situation that they're trying to work towards, pay off, that enviousness. So in other words, they want to always keep that plate in play. They always want to keep the ball in play. The narcissist ball is always in play. It is always a game that they are playing. When you show up on their court, then you're basically playing their game. They don't take relationships. They make people more sort of playthings, play objects. Isn't this funny, to be treating people this way? Or this is just how we do it over in my neighborhood. This is, there's all these excuses. You will never hear them say, I am envious, I am jealous, I wish I had that, I'm going to work for that. They're going to use other aversive ways. They're going to, be braggadocious. This is all, everything is about, that sort, it's a way for you to see the red flags of this, and do not be made a victim of this sort of very covert jealousy. The jealousy, I feel, will cause them to be very judgmental and critical of others. So if you are really finding yourself on the receiving end of a lot of jealousy and criticism of a narcissist, generally it's from those areas that they are lacking security or stability in. So it's kind of like this. Let's say you're a very committed, loyal type person. You have all the fabric of a good marriage. You're good marriage material. You've got fidelity. You've got a work ethic. You can, be this. You can be that. All these different, So you've got this as your competition, not as your competition, as your constitution of what you're composed of. So this is your I am, what you own, who you are. This will be denied and gaslighted and thrown up for contention, meaning this is where they want to split the wood. This is where they want to take the axe and split the trunk in two. This is where they want to take out their emotional saw and go, and they want to basically cut you out or cut you down to a feather of a sliver and say, look, you're not very big and strong now, are you? So why don't you just shut up now? So basically, when you're dealing with a jealous narcissist, they're going to make sure that they will shape the way that the information flows in that organization, system, relationship, family, community, department, wherever it is you find these people. And they can be in all walks of life, in all cultures, and in all experiences. And when you're dealing with this, the problem is that they are not able, a narcissist is not able to sort of self-reflect in this way and sort of process it and say, this is realistically what I'm going to do. Their grandiosity causes them to miss that whole loop, miss that whole inner experience, that whole inner dialogue, that process. So they will tend to oftentimes be very threatened by people who have the qualities which they do not possess themselves, but they are unable, unwilling to face and deal with and acknowledge and validate, because it makes them feel too normal. It makes them feel too human. It makes them feel too real. To a narcissist, they want to be looking like the knight in shining armor, or the queen, the diva, the goddess, the god, they do not like to be seen as real. And then if they do, their humor, if they do play it out in other ways, it can be in very sardonic or sarcastic, where they'll make everyone else the butt of the jokes, i.e. you. In other words, condescending ways that they're basically trying to say that you're going nowhere. They'll talk to other people and just leave you in the dark. Basically saying, you're not even worth talking to. Let me just show you how good, So it's these other passive aggressive ways that will basically sugarcoat for the narcissist. They will sugarcoat to themselves their own insecurity. To them, it's just easy street. It's never difficult for them. They just make it difficult for everybody else. So everybody else ends up paying the price. Time, emotion, hurt feelings. Why did this happen? Why did they do this to my workload? Why did they, why did they treat me like this? You have all these questions, which then you find do not get answered, or are these rhetorical questions that are cyclical in nature. And then you're still processing this for 10 years, the same question. So we need to sort of stop that and realize the cause that creates this effect in you. Oftentimes, I feel, it is sourced from that inadequacy, that insecurity within the narcissist that they are trying to hide, push down, and repress. It's kind of like the sleeping princess and the pea. The pea is still there. And oftentimes you're seeing the pea. In other words, there's that fairy tale where even though they had all these mattresses, 10 mattresses thick, that princess could still say, something is off with my mattress. And lo and behold, there was a mattress that got stuck. There was a pea that got stuck in one of the mattresses, but this princess on the top, she could feel it. She could sense it. Even though it's a little something, something was off. So when you're feeling this, there is something off. And the problem with the narcissist is they will try to assign guilt and blame onto you and peg that on you, cause you to own it, like opening up a whole can of worms in your house and saying, look, you've got worms in your house. What's wrong with you? It's their insecurity will cause them to project, and I feel in very precise ways, that inadequacy onto others. So their perception of inadequacy in others is actually their fear of their own inadequacies, where they do not have proper role modeling, experience, etc., but they have overcompensated it. Maybe they had something else that they could rely on, that then they were able to hang their hat on and lean their ladder on, so to speak. So, for example, if you have a narcissist who is always feeling that they deserve better, 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 in a marriage, this can be very unsettling. Why don't you be like this? Why don't you be like that? Why don't you wear this? Why don't you wear that? Well, I'm just going to go here. I'm going to go there. In other words, treating you as if you're not entertaining enough. You're not fun enough. You're not exciting enough. You can't tell a good enough story. You can't cook a good enough. You can't drive a good enough. You can't wear a good enough. I mean, it's just, it'll eventually nothing is off the list. Nothing is off the list. Let's just put it that way. And it can become laughable. Now, so for the narcissist who feels that they, have a difficult time feeling that they've made a good decision, that, could you really be good enough? Could you really be the one? They always have sort of the eye on the door for, is there somebody better? Is there, somebody better looking, more money, this, that, stays out later, goes, So in other words, there's a lot of this jealousy and inadequacy that is within the narcissist that causes them to feel this way. It has nothing to do with you. It's just their own filter. And you're just experiencing their aberrant behavior. It has nothing to do with you. It's not that you're unattractive, can't tell a story, not funny. These people will be chronically sort of unsatisfied. And when it gets really bad, they'll make it seem as if you're the cause of their unhappiness, that you're disappointing. You haven't worked, well, yeah, maybe you need to step it up here or step it up there, just like everybody. But when it becomes to the point where nothing you can ever do is good enough, and they are then projecting their own inadequacies onto you. In other words, saying you're too needy when actually you're just being loyal. You're being too clingy when you're just being warm. And so there's this overperception. So usually there's an inadequacy that will cause that narcissist to then interpret you as a threat when you are not. So for someone who is commitment-phobic, they're going to be threatened by people who want the real thing. They're going to lie. They're going to say, you're too needy. This is too soon. This is not ready yet. So they're the ones really who are fearful. They're fearful that they can't be loyal. That they might have made a wrong decision. Someone else could be better looking, have a better job, a better house, a better vacation, a better bike, a better car, a better deck, a better barbecue. I mean, whatever it is, they're always sort of eyeing that. And they're always on the chase. This is I would think, very exhausting for a lot of people who do not have this tendency. And then people have been broken down and they're no longer able to see that they are enough because they're so broken down by this. So, one moment. We are basically just saying for you to understand that. So the analogy in this case, so you have to learn to sort of interpret the jealousy, the envy of the narcissist. And it will be sort of kind of like a backwards jealousy. In other words, they will fault others for the qualities that they are lacking. Oh, you're so this when they're lacking that. So if they're pointing a finger of blame at you, usually there's some sort of deficit that they are feeling to, but that they have not identified, own, and work with. So they're very quick to project all this onto others, and to the bystander who has seen this, it can become very, very obvious. And I know for a lot of viewers who have been trying to learn about this for some time, they're becoming very good observers. They're seeing how these self-serving people will sabotage others. They will be unsupportive. They will, not validate you for your strengths, your accomplishments. This is sort of a reverse jealousy, a covert jealousy, if you will. So in other words, if they don't reinforce it, then you might not keep doing whatever it is that is helping of yourself. If they go, wow, you are a good storyteller, you might continue. You might then become a good teacher, mother, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, and you might excel. And then you might say, you know what, I do not need to put up with this. And then you might, cause them to leave. So, but the narcissist in their subconscious, they don't want that to happen. So they work from sort of the top down. They work from the future backwards. They work from the goal back to make sure that you don't hit your goal. It's very insidious. It's very painful. A lot of people they're not able to see it because of the deception, because of the lying, because of the insatiable need for power and control that the narcissist lives by, that they, drum their tune by, that they crank up the volume on their life. This is their smash hit. This is their one-hit wonder that they do, and they will make it seem and turn down the volume on you. So, you're a mess, you have nothing to say. This is just their jealousy talking. This is oftentimes they are not able. So, for example, a narcissist who is not able really to commit, to be loyal, they're too insecure, they're too needy, they need too much excitement. They'll then see that you have all these qualities. You're too boring, you're too simple, you're too predictable, you're too, so do you see how it's like a reverse envy is really the cause of that projection, and that it'll cause all people to hang their head, oh my God, I'm too needy. I better not even ask for a hug. I'm too needy. I better not even ask for this. And so people then just end up extinguishing their own happiness, their own, their own agency, their own autonomy, their own feel good, their own authentic living. Remove that anxiety. Get rid of that. Do no longer play the Narcissist Hit Parade song on your tape deck, your CD player, your iPad, your Google Glasses, whatever it is, your Google Watch. You're playing it from somewhere. Where are you playing it from? See what happens when you begin to understand that the narcissist is not all that. What happens? Is that threatening to you? Why is it difficult for you to keep them sort of down to size and see them for the humans that they are? Ask yourself this, because this might be standing in the way, in a barrier from really your healing and seeing that you are not only equal, strong, but you might even have your authenticity, which makes you powerful. Have a beautiful day. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe, and for goodness sake, please donate for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Remember and ask yourself, why is it so difficult to see the narcissist down to size? Usually it's because the jealousy and the envy of the narcissist, they don't want you to come to this realization. They don't want you, because then if you do, you might leave them. You might no longer be giving them the payoff, the crutch, the back scratch, paying their tuition, whatever it is you're doing for them, they might not be able to receive whatever it is that you are giving. So they do not want to cut that source off. But what if you're aware enough, grown enough, and strong enough to see that for who they are? And is that okay? And are you powerful now? And why are you pushing away your own sense of personal power and agency? Why is this threatening to you? Why does this make you afraid? This is good, important questions for you to ask yourself, because this is your own little mechanism, like in the bowels of your, sort of the Poseidon invention of your own sort of inner ship going, hey gang, why are we scared to be empowered here? Why are we okay? Why are we not okay to be okay? Ask yourself this. Usually it'll tie back into someone did not permit that this was a forbidden experience, as if it's taboo. If so, ask yourself why, and also kind of put in the comment section, yes, peace and harmony, for me this was taboo, and then put why. Thank you for your contribution. Please share, please subscribe, and for goodness sake, please donate for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.